Good morning, YouTube, and all my fans them all over the world. This is your boy DJ Troy. Today, I'm gonna be talking about the elections in Guyana, South America. For all those people that knows me, knows that I'm a Guyanese. I was born there, raised there, 100% Guyanese. Now, there's a lot of issues, and we could talk about so many things and go all over the place, but I'm just gonna stick to a couple of issues. The first one I'm gonna talk about is the transition of the government. Now, we all know that the PPP, has been in power for many years. In Guyanese terminology, we call that donkey years. And the plight of the country has been terrible. The value of the dollar has gone down. When you look at our capital, Georgetown, you want to know if you're in a third world country. And some people might argue that Guyana is a third world country, but I know that with all the gold and the diamonds and bauxite and everything that we have, the country should be doing better than where it is right now. But like any great nation, if the leadership is messed up, then the country is messed up. And if the people aren't holding the leaders accountable, things go crazy. Now, by election time this year, 2015, we were able to elect a new president, President Granger, and a wonderful prime minister. This signals change. The transition of the government, though, is a little bit worrisome, because what any new government don't want to do is just to come in and say, well, hey, I'm the new guy in town, let me just mess stuff up, let me just do things my way. There should be some form of dialogue with the PPP, stating like, how is it that you guys did things, and how is it that we could make it better? Okay, with all the problems that Guyana has, and do have, it's critical that there's dialogues between the old guy and the new guy to see where is it that we could be better. Now, when governments are transitioning, they need to have some form of order. Some of the things that I heard about were, people just coming in office and kicking people out. Okay, I'm the old minister of affairs. All of a sudden, somebody comes in and says, oh, you have to leave. Now, that's problematic, because there are files, there's things going on before you guys got there. So there must be some form of order in the transition of the new government. The second thing that I would like to talk about is, of course, this new case of people coming out of the woodwork saying that President Granger promised them land. Now, that's a very tricky thing. It's two ways you could look at it. The first way is like, listen, if the people want land, give them land. Because look at Guyana. We have the most uninhabited space, I think, in the New World, probably second to Africa. If you look at Guyana, if you check out the map, on the eastern coast, there's Georgetown, and there's a whole bunch of people living there, and then you have that whole land, the savannas there. There's no shortage of land in Guyana. So if the people do want land, there shouldn't be any kind of fight over land, because we have too much that nobody is using, nobody is touching. So if poor people want land, just give them the land. It's not gonna I don't even know the word. It's like we have land that we're not touching, we're not using. It's just there. So just give the people the land. Another way now you could look at it, another argument you could have is that, well, the fact that, you know, the PPP was in power for so long and none of these people had protests for land, how all of a sudden they want land. So it's a, you know, it's a yin and yang situation, but I'm more on the side of, okay, you know, I was watching some newscast and people are crying out saying that they're paying $20,000 in, you know, rent, you know, they're, you know, they have kids to feed, blah, blah, blah. And in my, you know, honest opinion, I believe that, hey, listen, if as a country we could do whatever we need to do to move forward, give the people the land. Because at the end of the day, we have way too much land that nobody's touching, nobody's using. It's just open space, untouched space. People even came to our country to research in Guyana, and they were like, listen, we have, you know, habitats that nobody have seen, nobody have touched in generations and decades and hundreds of years. So, you know, the fight over land shouldn't be an issue. Just give the people the land, let them build, and help to promote Guyana to be a better place. Lastly now, I'm gonna talk about the issue of racism in the country. Now, everybody knows that Guyana has a huge issues of racism. Me, myself, I married a Jamaican, and she went to Guyana for the first time. Me and her never had any discussion about racism in Guyana. She said, Troy, I could feel the tension between the Indians and the blacks. She, total outsider, never been to Guyana. First time, she said she could feel the tension there. And as a nation, we have to unite as one people, because there's just no way that we could move forward. Okay, there's just no way. If we're fighting amongst ourselves, Indian versus black, black versus Indian, how exactly are we gonna go anywhere? Okay, check this bigger judgment. Anytime you go to the World Bank, have they ever asked for an Indian dollar or a black man dollar? They said they want a Guyanese dollar. And when they checked the value of the Guyanese dollar, they said, listen, I don't want it. It's not doing anything for us. Okay? It's not promoting Guyana. The money is horrible. The money value is horrible. So, as a country, we cannot afford right now to be caught up in the nonsense where we're talking about, you know, Indian versus black or black versus Indian. Let's unite as one, as Guyanese, to build a country in a new direction, to promote, you know, a better economy, a better government, a better people. And the only way we could do that is through dialogues between both sides, okay? And every side, because remember, Guyana is a land of 6 races. I mean, you know, it's unfortunate that we only talk about black and white, but we have 6 races, you know? So we need dialogue across the board. Everybody needs to be on the table talking, and we also need to be able to unite in order to move this country forward. Because I guarantee you that if we don't, we're going to be in the same place that the PPP left us today, 20 years from now. Because there's just no way that you could come in and say, okay, I'm the new government and, you know, I'm going to do whatever I want without having a discussion with everybody else. We all need to talk. We all need to decide on where exactly we're taking our nation, where exactly we want our people to go, where exactly Guyana is heading. So, all Guyanese that's seen my video, do your best to help your country. Do your best to unite with your people, unite as one, so that we could move forward as one. Okay? One nation, one destiny. One people, one nation, one destiny. Alright? This is your boy, DJ Troy. I'm out.